Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Good Monday morning to all of our Southern Fried Podcast fans and all of our breadheads out there in Cornbread Nation. Good morning. Happy Monday. How's Dave this morning?
Dave is fine.
You're in there kicking, get kicking up about shoulder high, and me and Dave hit off on the same thing this morning when we was doing our little pre-show talk and everything, and look at the massive, powerful country of Colombia. We're not gonna take our citizens back. We're not gonna do it, and you can't make us. Well, and all the Dems and the Libs were hollering, tariffs don't work. Tariffs will not be successful. You cannot go onto the world stage and get stuff accomplished with tariffs. Well, Colombia refused to take some flights in from the United States, bringing their people back. Somebody said, nope, we're not taking them, and you can't make us. Well, now they're taking them back.
Taking them back.
25% tariff. What else did he impose in with that? Kick their
well, their visas were rescinded for their their government officials. So yeah, and other restrictions as well. The Colombians said they didn't want their people, their immigrants, wonderful immigrants, which they weren't immigrants. Let's be clear. Words have power. They weren't immigrants. They were criminals and they were illegals. He said he didn't want them coming back on a military plane in shackles. They wouldn't take them like that. They'd be treated with dignity. Well, we can take them to Gitmo. I mean, what do you want? It's your people. I mean, we're not coming back in the United States. So you take them somewhere. So he's backed off.
I wonder, I hear about these garbage gals all the time up in New York and stuff like that. I wonder if we could load these guys up on that. I mean, they made a big thing about Trump supporters being garbage. But what about these guys that are in our country illegally? They're criminals. They're doing horrendous acts. Load them up on a garbage gal, send them back. Be a long trip, but they'd get there eventually. What do you think? You think I might be onto something there? I don't know. Garbage cow fuel may be cheaper than airplane fuel. Would you have to have a motor on it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they better quit trying to rattle the saber with President Trump. I think that's what they better quit doing.
You think about it. On a garbage cow, you wouldn't even need a boat or fuel. You just give them each a paddle. So, hey, the faster you paddle, the faster the trip ends. That would take care of housing them and everything. Just load them up on a barge and let them paddle their way back. I mean, keep the motor on there just in case something bad happens and they need to get to shore in Mexico. Are we too happy about this?
Probably, but we're enjoying it. So, it's a new day. No longer do the little dictators push us around and make us, accept things without even a whimper. That was Biden. Yeah. We're going to play nice no matter what. And found out that didn't work.
No, that did not work. Had nearly 1,000 illegal aliens arrested in a single day.
And there's a lot more where that came from.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yes. Uh, that is, they arrested 956 and lodged 554 detainers, which means that there's probable cause that the person is removable from the United States under federal immigration law. Uh,
And congratulations on them finding nearly 80,000 to 300,000 children
yes,
they have identified. So,
that is amazing. That's
so
a good
that's
start.
great news as well.
It seems like that's more of where their shift and focus has been on finding those children. And I'm Tom Holman is very gruff and he's very straightforward. But I mean, he's taken almost a grandfatherly approach to finding these children. And amen, God bless him. Um, he has really hammered down on finding these kids. He's already found 80,000 of them, and there's a bunch more to find. But that is a great start. These kids do not need to
Absolutely.
be deported. They need to be taken in. They need to be our citizens. They've gone through hell here, and they need to be shown that that is not us. That is my personal opinion on that. This current the former administration allowed this to happen. They allowed these kids to face these atrocities, and I think that they need to have a home here. I don't know how in the world we'd accomplish that, but we need to accomplish that. That is my heartfelt, sincere belief on that. These kids didn't do anything wrong. No. And what do you think about J.D. Vance heading back over there to the Carolinas? I like that. He said he would. You know, I mean, he's fulfilling his promises too. Uh, and getting FEMA going over there and trying to figure out ways to hurry that process up over there. Uh, so that's
Well, he's talking. They're talking about disbanding FEMA because it's not working. That he's talking about giving the money and resources to the states. That have agreements worked out to get things done instead of having this federal, bureaucracy and agency that, I mean, really, honestly, it's really a better way to handle it. To let the state handle it. It's their money anyway. Put a fund,
yeah,
make a fund. I mean, put a fund together that's funded when things like that happen, and put certain qualifiers with it if you want to. So it's
yeah,
not just abused, but when there's a situation like this, let them have the resources to do that. I've never thought it smart to have the feds to have to come down and get set up in an area and start doing that. I mean, they don't know these people. Let the local
yeah.
authorities work this out, and you know
And you have
maybe set up some places around the country that can have equipment and resources available to move quickly into certain regions. You'd have them by geographical regions within so far. Each place would service so much of an area, and then uh, uh, let the local people figure out, because they're dealing with these people anyway,
yeah.
and disband the expense of a federal agency. And there's a lot of waste in FEMA, a lot of waste.
If you have your own people there, it's not like you can't have workers real quick. You've got your state and national guard.
Well, they would be a lot cheaper too. I know people that have done work for FEMA, and just somebody riding through in a patrol car can be making unbelievable amounts of money for up to a few months, and
Yeah,
that's what they do, and it's crazy the amount of money that's being thrown. I've heard numbers, and
yeah,
you just go from job to job, and let the states deal with this. They can, use their own resources, hire people if they need to for short term work, but at
Yep.
a reasonable rate, not this unbelievable money they're throwing at people for a short term. When these people are suffering, you got people, making thousands upon thousands of dollars a week, just coming in to do whatever. And, there's something wrong with that picture. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think there's
Especially
something
when you
wrong with
pull
it.
your state and National Guard in and, let them do it. They're already trained to run most of this equipment. They're already trained in policing areas. They're already trained. You don't even have to train them, dude. Let them go in.
Yeah.
Bring them in. Let them help, and until the crisis is averted. You
Well,
know.
they've been too busy trying to supplement the low military numbers and using them in places around the world. And I'm not saying they don't need experience, but let's quit putting them in stupid wars and stuff, and you
Amen
know,
to that.
use them for the betterment of the home front. So that's my take on
Why is that wrong? Why do so many people think that that is wrong? I mean, come on now. We have to take care of our own. If we don't take care of our own, how can we take care of somebody else? If we can't even take care of our own,
it. Yeah.
I just and just throwing money at problems that doesn't fix the problem. Okay, let's throw some money at it. That money lands on the ground and nobody knows what to do with it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
money
know.
is not always the answer. You give these people money they're over there, but you don't fix any of their infrastructure. You don't fix any of their, they've done a good job of fixing their own roads, I think. But you have all this other stuff that's going on. Their homes are destroyed and everything else. They need some help, and we need to help them up. It's not a handout; it's just a hand up. You know, take care of our people. My goodness, why is that such a hard concept for some people to understand?
Well, it shouldn't be, but
You know?
the federals always put a lot of walls up. There's a lot of firewalls, if you want to say it like that, and
Mm.
everything slows down. And there's good people that work for the federal government. It's not to say they're not, but it just gets tied up in red tape. Then you do have people that are useless that are involved. And if you've ever had to deal with government on any level, you realize how quickly that can not be good. Um, but at least do it on state level. Let the
Yeah,
federals back up and do some stuff. Um, support that. But like I said, with resources, money, I think he's got a good plan. Um,
yeah,
this thing, we know the government. We know that federal government's gotten too big, and it just keeps getting bigger. And that's not the intent of the federal government. It never has been. And he has the right idea. And yeah, it's going to be a pain point. There's going to be a lot of crying. There's going to be a lot of, but if you don't do something, this monster will just keep getting bigger and bigger. And at some point, it'll just start federalizing institutions and companies and whatever. I mean, they've already kind of done some of that, and they'll do more of it. We have
yeah.
this monster has to be now, or we'll all be in trouble
And
before
if you
long.
don't believe that that won't happen, take a look at your IRS. You know, the same thing. It started off kind of small, then it has grown into this beast of a thing that you can't understand. You can't even deal with them. They won't even take your calls half the time. And then if you don't talk to the right person, you don't get nothing. And they just shovel out stuff on American people a lot of times and say, deal with it.
Well, and
And you have to go get a lawyer.
they've pulled people into court that didn't have should not have been in court, and have been shellacked by judges for ridiculous cases they've brought against churches and ministries, and
Yeah.
they've come in and tried to just take their churches, shut them down. I mean they're just they're a jackboot agency that a lot of times is out there causing problems for Americans instead of help. The tax system, the tax code needs to be revised. We know that they need to have the tax code needs to be simplified. Whether that's the fair tax or whatever it's called, it needs to be simplified with yes deductions for those that have business and legitimate things. But it's gotten way too complicated for a lot of people do their taxes, but there's this constant update and changes. It should be simple. It
Yeah.
really has. It should just be simplified.
but it's not. It
And
is
then
so.
what makes me mad, I don't mind paying my taxes, I don't. But what makes me mad is the federal government takes the money and they turn around and they bully the states into submission to get their money back, their portions and stuff. A lot of times, the federal money back to the states for roads and stuff. They'll say, well, you're not going to get it because you're not doing this that we want you to do. And that, to me, that's dictatorship. I
Yeah.
mean, they just force states to, there are whole states that don't agree with certain things. And that goes back to your states' rights. But this federalizing of everything is ridiculous. I mean, they just want to come in and clamp down and force you into submission on how you're going to do your schools and everything. All that's driven by Washington. All that, the state, even the state level, which has the sway over like local school, schools, what they teach and everything, it's still driven by the federal government. I mean, they're out there, you want more money or we can limit you. And they do that. They threaten it all the time. They threaten to withhold federal funds all the time. This happens every day in America to some state that they threaten the state. You will get in line or you won't get no money. The state doesn't have the money to do what they need to do. And it's just ridiculous. It's our money. I mean,
Yeah.
why are you holding back my money? It'd be like going down to the bank and the bank says, well, yeah, you've got money in the bank, but we're not going to give it to you because we don't like it because you smoke or because you believe this or because you go to this church. That's what this is like. It's like a big bank that tells you can't have your money unless you do exactly what we say. That's ridiculous. Who would do stuff like that?
Well, one good thing that he brought up at his Vegas speech that's made everybody in the country probably jump up on their feet, jump up and down and clap was talking about doing away immediately with the IRS. That would be funny. He said they already got them where they carry guns. We'll send them to the border, and they'll work on the border. But,
yeah, and I don't doubt what the president is going to do. I think a lot of that is probably said tongue in cheek. I may be wrong. I don't think he'll actually be able to just totally disband that. But the weaponized part of the IRS needs to be done away with. Yes. Everybody, I mean, if you were paying attention, several years ago, they hired all these extra agents on, and they put them to basically military type training. Yep. The IRS agents were getting military type weapons, and why would an agency need stuff like that? That's collect money, and make sure that's appropriate and done right and all that. That's so they could come in and take your property, and lock you up. Yeah, that part he does need to do away with. It just needs to be a paper pusher back like it used to be, and make it effective.
Yeah, they don't need that, and they don't need to have their jack boots on when they come into someone's home either.
I mean, we need somebody there. If you got to make the call, somebody answering phone, somebody can help you, but you need somebody that's going to be a help. You don't need to be, And can we just? I'm going to be controversial this morning. I seen this meme that I liked, and listen, it goes back and it makes a lot of people mad. But they said, I want so many people deported that when I pick up the phone and call somebody, I don't have to press 1 for English. And I understand that. I mean, honestly, I called, and these companies that are dealing with these foreign call centers, every time, I mean, very rarely do I get somebody that it's actually here in America. It goes through other countries, and you can't, honestly, sometimes you just can't understand them. They're very nice people, and you just tell them, "I can't, sir, ma'am, I can't understand you."
Somebody else on the phone, I can't understand a word you're saying,
and it's frustrating. And so, get somebody on the line that, and yeah, we need people. I not have a problem. Some people just don't. Maybe they need help in their language, but make that have that ability to do that. We got technology that can help you with that, but make this where it's that you can call and get help when you need it. They actually will answer the phone. And they're not threatening you and everything else. If the people that are criminal, refer them to the authorities. I mean, just refer them to the authorities. Put and they can handle that. So anyway, we just need a change there. We certainly do.
Oh, come here, big boy. He's making all kind of racket this morning. He got to jump up here as my co-host.
pretty heartbreaking people that been coming out of the hostage situation in Israel. A lot of dead. There's
Yeah.
they won't late into last night. There were all these agreements that were trying to be hammered out. How many's coming back, and Israel didn't know who was alive, who was dead. Um, Horrible stories that we're hearing. Obviously, this went on way too long. It should have never happened. It went on way too long, and these young people have suffered a trauma that they will need help with the rest of their lives. And families will be grieving for the dead, obviously, that's being sent back. But and yeah, on the Palestinian side, because of the evil that they have leading them. I mean, many of them have no homes. There are I don't know I don't know if anybody knows the number of people that don't have a home in Lebanon or in Gaza. It's an ugly situation that we need peace to reign, and we need to get resources back up for the folks that are struggling. So yeah, it's pray for that situation today. I read late last. I don't know if how true it is that there's reports that Ukraine and Russia have signaled to the president that they're ready to end this thing. So we'll see if that's if that's going to happen. War is an ugly thing.
Yes, it
Anytime,
is.
ugly thing.
There was, oh, and this is not necessarily news or not anything that we didn't expect or anything like that, but our legacy media, ABC, CBS, NBC, spent over 46 minutes covering President Donald Trump pardoning J6 defendants, but they couldn't hardly even talk about Joe Biden issuing preemptive pardons for his entire family. What is up with that? Let's do as we say, not as we do mentality. If it's coming to what the media wants to report on, that's crazy.
Yeah,
You know, yes, Trump signed off on pardon more than 1,500 from J6. Okay, Biden signed off how many? Over 3,000, including his own family and everything else, and just shovel them out there. Here, have a pardon. Here, have a pardon. Here, have a pardon. Here, have a pardon. For all over the place, criminals, no, I mean, some bad people too. Like that judge up there that was getting the kids over and to make them work in sweatshops, basically, and stuff like that.
yeah,
No, had defendants, they were private system there, and they just put the kids right on in there. Crazy. And then they pocket millions, and then they let them out. That's basically child welfare laws, child abuse, however you want to call it. That's crazy, and that's who you decide to pardon from your own area in the state. I mean, come on, man. As you're so fond of saying, but he won't be doing no more. Uh, mm. But 46 minutes is what they spent covering that. I mean, they went in depth on Trump. Oh yeah, well, oh yeah, and then Biden did this. 46 on Trump, 3 minutes on Biden. Let's get out there and let's throw every bit of mud that we can at Trump. We don't like him. We don't care if he's trying to make our country great again. We don't like him, so let's just throw everything we can at him. Jack boots, jack legs, whatever. Mm. Mm. I think I'm gonna quit referring to them as legacy media, because this is a legacy we don't want to have in this country. I think I'm just going to refer to them as state TV.
state TV.
What do you think?
Well, it sounds more accurate than legacy.
Yeah, that's definitely a legacy we don't want to have. And you would think they would learn. Yeah, fake media, that's already been taken. We got to have our own. We got to stand out here on Southern Fried Podcast. So I think I may just call them state TV. Huh. Trump's got fake media. That's the thing, though. They are never going to be gone now. I don't believe. I believe this is something that we will have to put up with every single day from now on with our state TV. We're going to have to learn how to read between the lines, much as they did back in Russia and still do in Russia. You can't just listen to what they say. You have to dig in deeper and find out the true context and everything else. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. We're going to have to just delve into it and try to pick up what's really happening. So, it is what it is. It's just there. And how it came to be, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just gradual. It's been a gradual uptick in this, where now they can just say anything they want about anybody they want, and it's perfectly fine. And then when it comes
Well,
out, if it's not true, then they bury it in the back of the paper somewhere.
occasionally
Or
they are
the
sued and they suffer big losses, and it has had an effect. CNN has just laid off hundreds of employees. I
yeah,
mean, their ratings are struggling. They're down. So
huh?
there has been a price to pay.
But it hasn't slowed
I
them
don't know if
down
you
from
saw
doing.
Stephen Smith's. Um, well, maybe I think they've altered some things. They're not talking as much in the way that they were before. Now they're trying to play a little nicer. Stephen Smith on ESPN's really took it to the Democrats in a conversation in a video. Basically saying they didn't. You're not listening to the people. The people, and they said that he said that's why that man, speaking of President Trump, is back in office. He listened to his people and he's getting stuff done. You didn't listen to us. You didn't get nothing done, and here we are. He makes a good point. I think Alex Jones played a portion of that, and he agreed with 95% of what he said. The only thing he didn't agree with is, he's not for doing anything with birthright citizenship. But overall, it was a very good statement that he made. It's about a 5 minute thing that it was pretty powerful.
Yeah, and that's important, But and we sing praises of people that speak out in favor of Donald Trump, because there's not very many. But really and truly, we need to just put news out there. We don't need to. The media does not need to favor one side or the other. We don't need Democrat TV. We don't need Republican TV. We don't need liberal TV, conservative TV, and everybody voicing their opinions, telling the people what they should think. We don't need that. Just tell us the dead blame news. But people in this country are a lot smarter than what you think they are. If you'll just tell them the news, they'll figure out what side of it they want to be on. They don't need your help figuring that out. Uh, hmm. Am I right or wrong on that? Well, how do you feel?
Well, I mean, you have to blame people too if they're going to sit and listen to it. I mean, they have people that listen to it. I mean, people need to
Yeah.
be a little bit more knowledgeable about stuff. I'm not saying it's not right, but, but people listen to it.
Yeah. But then you got, it's maybe stuff that they don't know that much about, or something that's not really that big of a deal that gets blown up into a big deal. And you can't track every single piece of news. There's a lot of news out there. And I understand that, but instead of watching something where it just gives you the news, you sit and glued to these people that tell you what to think and how this news you should feel about it, and this and that. And it's just crazy. Hmm. Mm. You know, that's mm. I just I kind of against all these media groups anyway, just coming out against America and our presidents and our leaders, and they say, well, it's our job. It's not your job to give us your opinion. It's your job to give us the news, real news. NPR, National Public Radio. Let's talk about that for a second. I mean, that's
They're
been a
paid. That's a federal government radio show. They're
yeah,
paid for. They're paid for with tax dollars.
yeah.
So I don't listen to NPR.
I don't either.
And that
Well,
you get
if
what you get with them.
if they reported both sides equally, you might could do it, but they don't. It's just one side or the other. Well, it's all liberal Democrat, and everything's against pro conservatism, pro Republican. Everything on there just about is against that. It's not fair and balanced. None of them are truly fair and balanced. I don't think anymore.
I think they're all guilty at times of the same things.
Hmm.
If I had to, what that percentage is, I don't know. Some are less than others, but most of them are guilty of some things.
Yep, and they're I can't get that. And they're doing this also. They're tearing down very important rights and freedoms that we should have in this country. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to have the right of free speech, and when you have these groups that go out and just throw stuff out at the wall. You know, and that may or may not be true, may or may not be accurate. It's their opinion. I don't give a rat tiny about somebody else's opinion. Tell me the news. My God. So you put me on a soapbox this morning. It's Monday morning. We shouldn't ought to be on soapboxes on Monday morning. People have a hard enough time get up and go to work. Uh,
Got to
uh,
start the week off right, getting all fired up.
uh. Well, if we're going to talk about the crazies, let's and these people aren't crazy. Let's slip out to California for just a minute. This is horrible situations going on out there with the wildfires and everything. Uh, are just absolutely ridiculous. Now they're getting a lot of looters and stuff like that piling in. They've already been soft on crime, so now everybody's like, "Hey, it's a free for all," and now he's trying to get hard on them. They're not. That's not going to work. Not until they start arresting them. And Newsom said that preying on people when they're the most vulnerable is despicable. And these criminals are among the worst kinds. I wonder if he'd be up for deporting them or sending them to another country. That would be
I
my
doubt,
next question.
I doubt they would do too much.
These are American citizens, but they're looters. Send them to another country. Send them to Canada. That would be, uh, uh, uh. And hey, I think we need to buy us an island. I really do. It worked, just taking our criminals and the bad elements and just having this place that we sent them to and let them survive on their own. It worked for England with Australia. You know, I wonder if we could do something like that.
I would just buy Greenland.
No, we're not going to mess up Greenland. Greenland's a beautiful island. We're not going to mess up Greenland. Uh. Maybe we could buy Panama.
Well, There's options.
Maybe we just buy Columbia. That would be funny. No, you're not going to send them here. We buy it. We're sending them all there. Oh, that'd be funny. Teach you. He's playing ball now. I guess we can do that. That would be funny.
He found out, didn't he? He found out.
Why don't we run us a commercial or two, or even three? I gotta go fix me some more coffee.
We can do that.
I'm burning up this morning. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna go fix it real quick. You want to pick us a couple out?
Hey, folks, Dave in the AM here with the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. For many weeks now, me and Rob have been telling you about our affiliation with Dubby Energy Drinks. I've been drinking some of them on the show, and I just got in today the powder version, and this is the Pond Blom version of this. And hey, I tell you that it gives you the focus and the energy without the jitters or the crash. There's no sugars, no fillers, no artificial dyes. So get you some Dubby today. Use the promo code Southern Fried, and you'll get 10% off each and every order. Not only can you get the energy drinks, but you can also get some cool merch items. In fact, soon we're going to have a hat to show you as an example of some of those things. There's shirts and other things you can get as well as containers to mix up the powder and the water into that you can carry with you. We appreciate your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and also of Dubby Energy Drinks. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Hey, this is Robin Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. One of our shows that we love the most is Front Porch Talking. Our Friday night show, which starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, has become a tradition here at the Southern Fried. We appreciate you so much for stopping by on the front porch where we grab our sweet tea or coffee or whatever we're drinking and just sit on the front porch, wave at the neighbors as they go by, and just have a great discussion. We usually don't have a topic or theme. We just like to talk, and we like for you to stop by on the front porch as well. It's a Southern tradition. And Rob and Dave, we're all about the South. We live here in the state of Georgia, and all through the South or throughout wherever you live in the United States or the world. Remember, as Rob says, it's a Southern state of mind. Join us each Friday night at 8 p.m. with our friends. Become part of that Cornbread Nation Breadhead crew, and join us on the front porch, and let's talk. Thank you so much. Join the Southern Fried Podcast each Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sunday Morning in the Word. That would be the Word of God, of course. Maybe you're getting ready to go to church, or maybe you can't go to church. Maybe you're homebound or not able to go, not feeling well. Well, we hope to give you a little church before you go to church. And extra church is not going to hurt any of us. So join us each Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and we'll dive into the Word of God and have a few thoughts that'll get you started in your day. I hope you will read your Bible each and every day and pull out your Bibles on Sunday morning and follow along. And we'll just have a good time in the Lord Jesus together. So join David Cordell every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock for Sunday Morning in the Word with the Southern Fried Podcast. God bless. This is David the AM with the Southern Fried Podcast. We are now an affiliate of Podbean. Podbean is an audio platform which helps you get your voice out there. You can go online and go live from your very phone that you use. You don't have to have a lot of special equipment. It's nice to have a studio, but it's expensive. You can do those things from your phone. Hey, I was a listener of Podbean before I even became a podcaster. Maybe you've thought about being one. There was a time when I didn't think about being a podcaster, but think about it. You've got things to share. It could be as simple as baking, or it could be working on a car. The stories are endless that you could come up with to be a podcaster. And there are people out there that want to listen and to your stories and to your shows. And we're thankful for all those that watch and listen to us. Podbean is now an affiliate of the Southern Fried Podcast. Unless you're a business plan, that would be the bottom one. The one on top, use that. You'll get discounts. And also the Southern Fried Podcast benefits in this as well. I love Podbean. They also help launch out to many other audio sites. This saves me time. Time is precious. Time to be on the podcast. Time for research. Time to be with family. And yes, time to work. Yes, we still work out there in the workforce. So become a podcaster. Use Podbean. And when you use these links, one of them, you will save money and you'll also help the Southern Fried Podcast. Thanks so much for all your support. Take care. We'll see you soon. And we're back.
I ran. I'm just not running real fast this morning.
Sound like a flock of seagulls. I ran.
Well, I gotta be a flock of seagulls.
No, the group.
I know. I got you.
The group.
Well, there have been a massive amount of memes come out lately. And some of these, I think, are just as cute as they can be. Like the Preschool Apprentice, if y'all haven't seen that one. Oh my gosh.
The internet is filled with just tons of different ones, memes, videos. I mean, I don't know where these people find the time to do it. But there is a lot of them out there. They're quite funny. Quite funny.
The ones I saw, I don't know where they got this kid at, and I'm sure that's a wig. It may not be. I don't know. But his hairdo kind of looks like Trump's anyway. And he's like, and the ones, I've seen 3 of them. I don't know if there's more of them out there or not, but they are absolutely amazing. He said, I got appointed as the snack hander outer. I was the best snack hander out there. And they had Legos, and I wanted to build a wall at school. And I said, well, you're not getting any graham crackers if you don't give me some Legos. We built the best wall ever. Oh, that was the whole. All of them are amazing, though. Oh, did you turn your camera off, or is it having issues? But anyway, we've got lots of stuff going on now. All of the reporters are talking about the difference between this administration and the previous one. Is Trump's actually doing speeches. He's actually answering questions. He's actually taking questions. He is being the most transparent as he can be. I mean, hey, you want to know what we're doing? Here's what we're doing. And this is what I told you I was going to do. This is what I'm doing. I'm liking it. Get the words out of his mouth instead of somebody else's after it's gone through a filter somewhere.
I agree.
That is a good thing.
I agree.
I've got to give me just 1 second, Dave.
All right. Also, keep Cowboy Cook in your prayers. I talked to him a few times last night. He's still not great. He said he may have to go to the doctor or maybe even the hospital. So just remember him.
Oh wow!
Not feeling good this morning. Where he says he was in a lot of pain. He's better there, but when he gets up, he gets real dizzy and he's just having a tough time. He said, I don't know what's going
on. We also need to remember Miss Elizabeth in our prayers. She got some good results back from the doctor the other day, but we need to keep her in our prayers too. Hopefully she'll be able to be on with our show tonight as well.
Yeah. Don't forget the coming programs. I didn't do news last night. My allergies have been killing me. A little bit better today. We'll pick that back up this evening. We'll do a news show. So.
Yes. Okay. As you know, I was a butcher for years. I cut meat. That is my thing. I have a very real passion in my life for meat. I like meat. I enjoy eating meat. I like the way it tastes. I like the way it cooks. I like the way it smells when it cooks. I enjoy meat. And I do eat veggies. There's some veggies out there I really like. But they're saying now, says while red meat is a rich source of protein, iron, and other nutrients, a recent study linked it with increased risk of dementia. But some doctors are casting doubt on the claim. Okay, let me go ahead and air this out there. We're dying from the day that we're born. Okay, we start our process. We're growing, we're getting bigger, then we age, and you know, every day we live, we have one less day to go, and we all want to live a good, healthy life, and such as that. I understand that, but if you give up everything, everything is bad for you. Everything. There's you. I don't care what you look up out there, hardly. If you look up far enough, you'll find a study that says it's bad for you. My goodness, we've been eating meat as the human race has for a long time, and oh, now we're going to say, oh, it's bad for you.
Well,
Uh,
they usually make it, if it's meat this week, it'll be coffee next week, or something. I mean, they've constantly got something that's killing us.
yeah,
But yeah, we're dying every day.
uh, yeah, it's just
So
ridiculous.
yeah, I don't. I tend to not listen to those places too much.
I don't think I listen to them all. At least I try not to. My goodness. And
I mean, if there's a true health issue out there that we got to listen to, something that's came up, then that's one thing. But just to continue to, they're coming up with something that, you know,
shit, just
don't eat this, don't eat that. I just tend to ignore it.
yeah, I'm kind of tell me what I can't eat. I don't even like it when the doctor does that. Uh, yeah, I tend to agree with that statement right there. There's a big difference between living and existing, and simply existing. Go along with that. Well, now how many of Trump's cabinet have
Yeah.
been voted in now? We got Exit.
Most of them. There's still a few to go.
Yeah. You think he'll get them all?
Uh, Most likely, I think there's one or two left. That's going to be It'll be a fight. RFK Jr. is going to be a fight.
You think RFK Jr. is going to be the fight? Hmm.
Well, it is now that
Oh,
Hegseth in there, and you you know
yeah,
so
your
we'll
chats
see.
are coming through. Everybody, I think everybody's coming through. Uh, having technical issues. Uh, Steve, you need to get those fixed. Uh, uh, I saw something on here on Fox this morning, and where it was talking about some of AOC's comments that aged like warm milk. That's just talking about coffee coming out of Colombia or something. There we go. Slapped it with the old turn it off and turn it back on again. It's amazing how often that works, especially with computers. If it's just acting goofy, just turn it off and turn it back on. And that's the first thing. If you have to call IT or something for support, have you turned it off and turned it back on? Well, it was already on. Why do I need to turn it off and turn it back on for it to work right? I don't get it. But, yeah, that it works. Same things with cell phones. Turn it off and turn it back on. You know, It'd be amazing if that worked with spouses. Like your wife comes in, she's all upset, and you're just trying to work on some other stuff, and all you can hear is and you turn her off and turn her back on, and everything's nice and happy. I'm pretty sure that wives can say the same things about husbands, that we need off switches so we can turn them off and turn them back on and just do a reset. I think that could actually be good for marriages. Just turn it off and back on. Just reset the thing. Dave's not saying nothing because he knows if he does, I'm going to get him in trouble with that one. Oh, trying to see what's going on here in the chat this morning. Monday mornings are hard sometimes. We get up, we get going, and we're happy to be here. And then we cover some of the news, and some of the news is just absolutely amazing. And then some of it's like, man, really? Like how seat squatters are enjoying first class perks without paying an extra dime and stuff like that. That really, let's face it, we don't care. uh, uh, oh, and the Trumpster is looking to keep his foot on the gas this week after an amazing first week, I think, in office. It's only been a week, dude. It's only been a week. This is the first week in office. Now, what's he going to do because, Trump is a showman anyway. What's he going to do this week to top last week?
He's got plans, that's for sure.
Yes. I love watching it. We spent 4 years of our leaders hiding and acting in the shadows and doing this and doing that, and you hear about it a week or two later. And it's such a breath of fresh air to have somebody come in and say, okay, this is what we're doing. You got any questions? Ask. We just did this. Do you have any questions? Ask. Let me go to do a speech and tell people what I'm doing and what my plans are. And instead of being happy for this, is that people are just slinging more mud and crap. We need to, and then we were complaining because nobody would talk about it, and now we got somebody that will, and, I love it. I love it. I love it. We've been taking a back seat to for so long. Well, 4 years, and then he hid for much of his campaign in his basement or whatever. And now, and he won on that. So
he still has the Treasury, Attorney General, Department of Secretary of Interior, Ag, Commerce, Labor, of course, Health and Human Services. So there's quite a few, and that's Urban Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Treasury, Transportation, it's been confirmed, not yet voted. Hearings. Wow. Same with Secretary of Energy.
When you get these nominations,
there's quite a few. Through. Education.
Yeah. And the Democrats are holding up
still to come on. No, they still have to be voted on. That's what I mean.
Okay. So there's no more 30-hour.
There may not have been a vote yet.
Okay. Those 30-hour discussion things that they've been pushing and all this other stuff. And I know we want to get the right person for the job, but that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it just throw as many roadblocks up as they can. Yeah, it seems like anyway. Uh, hmm. I'm still
Tommy, and I
going.
don't know. I think RFK Jr. could be the challenge. It's possible, but I'm not sure on him. He has his opponents.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's going to be dicey on him. I think the rest are okay.
it's going to be interesting to see all these go through. This is uh, you would
Thanks for the
think
session for the
RFK
light
Jr.
this
would
morning.
almost be a shoe-in, huh?
Well, he has a lot of detractors, man. He has a lot of people that do not like him, including his own family. And you're taking on a department that's not. I mean, all the departments are important, but this one is one of the top three, and it deals with so many different things. It's a massive department, and he has made statements that could be, it could cause him some problems in the hearing, and he has softened a little bit on a couple of things, I think, because of that. Uh, but he's made some statements that are going to be really he's going to be taking a task on very hard. I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm not even going to say the word that we're not supposed to say apparently because we get in
yeah,
trouble when we do. But that is going to be brought up because he's made some statements about that. Also, the CDC. There's some things that he has said that it's just going, man. You just got people on all sides of this, and I think it's going to be the one that's going to be. Um, they're going to bring out. It's one thing to get through a guy for the military. It's another thing to get through where you're talking about all the things that department handles. And I suspect there's going to be some ugliness with this one. That the others were ugly, but this is going to be extremely ugly when his goes through.
it would be amazing if he came out there though and just threw out facts. You know, I would love to see that. Just facts. And this is something that we do need. I mean, as a nation, we are in generally pretty bad health, uh, in general terms. Um, and
Well,
if this is something that he can help with, then I say let him do
well,
it.
he's talking about eradicating some things and something. So you're never going to get consensus. There's going to be people that's for it. There's going to be people that's against it, and it's just going to be. I mean, honestly, it's not easy, and it's not easy even on this program. Me and you
Mhm.
don't agree on everything in this area.
No.
I mean, it is going to be because I think on some things he's probably spoke a little heavy. I'll just say it that way. I like him. It is the most controversial pick for me that outside of the one that's already stepped down, who's already didn't even go forward because he didn't even have the votes. This one
You're
is the
right.
second most controversial.
It's going to be interesting. This is, it's really interesting to get out there and you do your presidential elections, but these cabinet picks are so important a lot of times for them being able to move forward with the promises that they make. And if they don't get them or they don't get the right person in for the job, then it blows up on them. And I think that's some of the mistakes Trump made in his first administration. But like you said, when they hit it this time, they knew what they were getting into, knew what they needed, and they hit the ground running.
They
So
have.
we'll
I
see.
give him credit. I'll be honest. Personally, I don't know how I feel about this pick myself. I really don't. I support the president's vision. I don't know that's part of RFK Jr.'s vision. I'm
Yeah.
there's some there's some things there that are not nice, and I'm talking not just on decisions that he wants to do. There's things in his personal life that are I don't know. It'll come out.
Well,
It's
there
been out
again,
there for a while.
in that same bent there were things in Pete Hegseth's personal life that I really didn't like them using it against him. And he's trying to do better. He's putting forth the effort. It seems to be, and okay. He's trying, and I don't think a person's past should be held against them from now on. Either
No,
they keep wallowing in it or they pick up and move on.
I'm all about that. I'm all about forgiveness. I mean, after all, I'm a Christian and a pastor, but I will say that there is it depends on how you view it. It depends on if you think it's a problem, just because it happened 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. Um, it just does. I mean, let's face it. Ted Kennedy, he had stuff happen in his past too that to me were unforgivable. Unforgivable as far as letting him electing him and voting for him. Unforgiving, not Jesus will forgive him, but I
Yeah.
what happened to Mary Jo Kopechne, that those are just horrible things that occurred, and I just I just say there's some things there, and I don't know the full of it. I would say there's some of it. Um, we don't agree on everything.
I love
I
it.
mean,
Steve,
we do
thank
we
you.
do take opposite sides of a coin, which makes for great discussion. Um, I don't know. I just don't know as I sit here this morning how I feel about some of the things he says are a little radical to me. I'll just say it that way. It
Okay.
plays well. It plays well in a very far right side of things, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm just being honest. I don't know how I feel about it, and that's something I want to hear more of what he has to say. You know.
Yeah. I'm going to read this comment out before we get off the air because it was great. Steve, the Celtic Blacksmith with Half Pine Ford says, Dave, we have disagreements on this show. We don't agree on everything. Me has traumatic flashbacks of the Great Biscuit Wars of 2024. You don't crumple biscuits and put gravy on them. You just scoop them up. Go ahead, say it. I know what you're going to say. Crumple, baby, crumple. Uh.
Well, it does fit with drill, baby, drill. I mean, I don't know. You said it. I didn't say it. I'll go with it though, since you throw that out there. That's all good.
Open it up. Open it up. Tear it in half. Put your gravy on top. It soaks it up better, I think. All right. So, go ahead. I think it's makes the gravy soak up better. You don't, right?
You misunderstand me.
Okay. It's
I
for
will.
convenience.
I will leave it for another day.
Okay.
There's not
I
enough
know you
time
have to go
left.
to work. Got to get the kids to school.
Yeah.
Hey, thank y'all for joining in with us this morning. And y'all have a great, wonderful Monday. Get out there. Don't let them beat you. You get out there. You beat them. Beat them drums. Let's do it. Show them who we are. We're loud, proud American, and we're going strong. Get out there, tear it up. God bless y'all. Salute. And we will see y'all tonight. We will continue this biscuit discussion then, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we can do it.
Have a great day, guys.
See you, Steve. Tire man.
Good.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.